Hi lovelies, it's Luna, and I've come today to talk to you about a topic that can sometimes be quite difficult because it taps into painful experiences that people have had. So it's my hope that I do so with love and care, and it's certainly my intention to do that. But I am going to offer some alternative perspectives that might be quite difficult concepts for some people to grasp, depending on where they are in their own healing journey. But as I say, I will do it with as much love as I can. So I'm going to do this as a video, so you are likely to be watching it on YouTube. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/@LunaLouiseAnna. However, I'm also going to upload the audio of it onto my podcast, so you'll be able to watch the video on Spotify as well, and you'll be able to listen to my podcasts if you want to listen to it or view it. The way to get to it is through anchor.fm/LunaLouiseAnna. And likewise, you can find the video, you'll be able to find the video on my Facebook page, which is Luna Louise Anna as well. Okay, so it's all Luna Louise Anna, so it's easy for you to find. So you can find the route that suits you best. Okay, so what I want to talk about is narcissists, and I want to talk about how they serve the evolution of the planet. So if you don't know, narcissists are people who are said to have set behaviours. And these behaviours are things like being selfish, being entitled, needing a lot of attention and wanting to feel significant. And not necessarily significant in a grand way either. Sometimes they can be the martyr. Whatever makes them stand out, basically, makes them special. And they show no guilt, no remorse. And they go around abusing people and using people. They're manipulative, calculating, that kind of thing. Now, I'm not talking about narcissists in the sense of narcissistic personality disorder or even in terms of a mental illness, because I'm not qualified to diagnose those things. I'm using the term narcissist really for people that abuse people. And I'm using it because it's one that people recognise, and these days most people have had some sort of a horrible experience with a narcissist, so it's kind of so that people will recognise that and know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's why I'm using the term narcissist, but it's really just a term for somebody who's abusive in very nasty ways. So, before I get into it, I kind of want to just give you a little bit of background about myself so that you understand why I'm talking about them and how I've come to my different perspective about them. So I have just come out of an abusive marriage. I was married to a narcissist, and when I say just, I'm talking about I'm about 2 weeks out of it. So I've just divorced, about 2 weeks divorced. And prior to that, I was born into a family of narcissists, and I was abused relentlessly by lots and lots of different narcissists. So at any one time I had at least 3 narcissists abusing me at any one given moment in my life. So I was really, really entrenched in the pain of narcissistic abuse for, I'm 46 now, so for the first 46 years of my life I've been attacked by these people, which is why I know so much about them. So that's why, and I've been healing from that whilst I've been going through the divorce process, and it's been a very difficult healing. But what it's blessed me with is a lot of different alternative perspectives on things, like higher perspectives, if you like. So that's why I'm able to talk about this in this manner today. So I want you to know that I do understand that they wreak havoc on your life, and I understand the absolutely hideous pain that an experience with a narcissist puts you in. And I have a lot of empathy for that, and I do understand what that's like, and I know what it's like to not be in the place where I am now, to be able to think about them in the way that I can now. I do empathise with that. And if that's where you're not here, where you're not at the place where I'm at yet, I'm sending you so much love, because I understand it's a really difficult path. It is very, very difficult. It requires every bit of you, every single bit of your soul to get yourself out. But if you've come along to my podcast or my video or my Facebook page or wherever, then I'm going to say to you that you must be ready in some way to hear what I'm about to say, okay? Otherwise you wouldn't be here. So what I want to say is that narcissists serve as great awakeners. Now, we like to think about great awakeners as being gurus, or some spiritual teacher that's got a large following, the healer that you often go to see, that kind of thing. We like to think about it being like that. But the greatest awakener in my life was actually my ex, who was a narcissist. And I've got a guru, and I've got absolutely amazing, enlightened teachers that I'm very grateful to have. But none of them have awakened me to the same extent that my narcissist ex did. So people say to me all the time, oh, who's your teacher? Kind of, they want to know who kind of awakened me, where my spiritual awakening came from, who instigated it, kind of thing. And although I have had, great awakenings from, like I say, amazing enlightened teachers that I'm very, very fortunate to have in my life, the greatest awakening came from my narcissist ex, and that is what I tell them, because it's the truth. And so what I want to say is, narcissists serve as messengers of our ego. Now, our ego is not bad, and I did a video about this as well, so if you're interested in that, then you're going to want to check it out. It'll be in my playlist on YouTube, and it's also on my Facebook page, which I mentioned earlier. So if you're interested in finding out more about my perspective on ego, where I say it isn't bad at all, and it shouldn't be died or killed off, and actually you can't kill it, so it's pointless even talking about that. If you're interested in that, then you'll want to go and watch that video. It's a video, it's not a podcast, so you will need to go and find the video for that one if you're interested. But loosely what I say is that, the ego is a guide for our wounds that need healing. So in that sense, the narcissist is the same thing. So they're a reflection of our ego. So they're the voice of our pain that is reflected to us into our, our external experience with the person. So our relationship with them is a reflection of the pain we're in. So the worse they treat us, the more pain we're in. And what tends to happen at first is you want them to change, because you want them to stop hurting you. And that can't happen. So the reason why narcissists never change is because they can't change, because their role is to wake you up out of your pain to get you to heal your pain. It's your job. So that's what they do. Their job is to wake you up and make you realise that you're in pain, and your job is to heal the pain. And that's it. And as soon as you recognise the pain that they're putting you in, that is the end of the soul contract, and it's time for you to leave. Go off and heal your pain, and they will carry on. The reason why they never change is because they will carry on in the role of the awakener, because that's the role that their soul has chosen for this lifetime. And the only thing that they're here to do is to show us our pain. And the worse the experience, just the more pain we have to heal. So the worse it gets, and the reason why it gets worse and worse over time as well, is because you're ignoring the cue. You're ignoring the cue that your soul and their soul have agreed that they will be the prompt for you to wake up and realise that you're in pain and heal it. So when you don't take the first hint of that and leave and go and heal your pain, they're going to keep doing worse and worse things, and they're going to keep alerting you to, oh, you've got this wound here and this wound here, and oh, look at that scar there, let me just put my finger in it, because that's how they are. And they're like that because their job is to wake us up and make us go within our inner landscape, talk to our inner child, look at our heart, find where the trauma is inside of us, and heal it. And at first we might become, quite obsessive and want to sort of look up, what is a narcissist? Am I going crazy? Are they one? Aren't they? We get very lost in kind of the mind, the realm of the mind, about what to do about it, and we might want to talk about it a lot, which is also just the realm of the mind. But what we need to be doing is getting into our heart space and speaking to our hearts about why we've got this pain. And once our heart tells us, and the heart will speak in very weird language sometimes, so it might not make sense at all, because it's not the realm of logic, it's not the mind. The heart is different. So you might get some strange answers from your heart, but once you get those answers, it's your job to do something to heal them. And the healing needs to happen on a deep level. So this is not about having a chat about it with somebody, even if they're qualified. And it's not about, kind of trying to talk it away, in any shape, even with positive affirmations or anything like that. It just won't work, because the wounds are deliberately deeper within you to make you go deeper within yourself, because this is the start of your journey deepening, and it's actually the start of your ascension, which we're all here to do. So it's the start of you ascending into higher states of consciousness, but you can't do that whilst you've got all the wounds, because the wounds shout louder than your intuition at first. And so you need to heal some of them and soothe some of them. And also they're deliberately put in place by your soul to mark out, they're like landmarks on your path, if you like, or I call them stepping stones on the path that is already laid out ahead for you by your soul. So the longer we take to kind of notice them and tend them and do what needs to be done, the more and more painful it gets, because your soul is trying to get your attention through the soul contract with the narcissist. So there you go. So they're serving humanity by alerting us to our wounds. And in that sense, they are a great awakener and part of the evolution of the entire planet. And in fact, they're a key part of us all birthing the new earth together. Because as long as we're stuck in the third dimension of pain and suffering, which we are when we're in a relationship with a narcissist, then we can't all anchor a fifth dimensional reality, which still has challenges and pain, but which we sort of allow more of the universe, more of our heart and soul to deal with than our mind. Third dimension, we try and use our mind to fix everything. And in the higher dimensions, we use our heart and soul to move us along the path. And that's why it becomes fast track and speeds up your evolution and your awakening once you've kind of healed those lower chakras and the kind of third dimensional pain and suffering that's really severe. Because then it's time for your heart to take over. And the heart is the guide for the fourth and fifth dimension. And the mind is the guide in the third dimension. Okay, so I hope that interests you. And if it does, I would like to let you know that I've started to write a book that has some information in around this. And it's it's about the power of words and what the different healing is like in each dimension, and how each dimension serves us differently, and how we interact with each dimension differently in order to ascend into enlightenment, which we're all destined to do. That's what we're here on the planet to do right now. So that's very exciting, isn't it? So if you're interested in that, you will want to keep following me on my Facebook page, because that's where I will be sharing more about that in the future. Okay, so I hope this has helped you, and no matter where you are in your life with narcissists or without them, I hope this has enlightened you in some way. Okay, lots and lots of love. Love you all. See you again soon. Bye.